Hello everyone, welcome to 27. Today I'm going to be doing a comparison between the 4C and the Evora. Now, before you all start off banging on about how they're not the natural competitors and everything else, well, that is the whole point. So I know that normally you have Exesias and Elises and everything else compared to this, and that's absolutely fine, but everybody's doing that. What about the Evora? First of all, I own an Evora. Secondly, I'm about to sell this Evora and I need to replace it with something. And one of the cars that I'm considering is the 4C. So it's a great opportunity. I'm here today with my mate Jason, known as Chalky. This is his car. He's going to be driving my car. I'm going to be driving his car. While we're doing that, we'll chat and compare notes and everything else. And also, it will help me decide whether, once I've sold the Evora, which is actually taking quite a long time, I should consider a 4C. Now, the reasons why I'm looking at 4Cs are that it's the kind of car I like because it's sharp, it's small, it's light, it's quick, it's got everything that I want apart from a manual gearbox. But also they are pretty cheap to run. And I'm using the Evora a lot to go to filming venues, all that kind of stuff, and I'm doing a fair bit of mileage on it and it's been brilliant at that. I really hope that the 4C also works in that way. I know it's not going to be as comfortable. I know there's not as much storage room. You know, this is not that bad. It's got room behind the seats. It's got a little boot. This won't have all that. So whether I can live with it or not remains to be seen. Lastly, the roads that we're going on today. Some people in the past, I think especially our American friends, have remarked that I go on really narrow roads and that kind of stuff. Well, you're right. The problem is in the southeast of England is super crowded. So you're either going on small out of the way roads or you're just constantly surrounded by traffic. And I prefer to do that. So the roads today probably won't suit the 4C, but I will take that into consideration. Right, let's take them for a drive. Yeah, give it a few revs, man. This is the road, but see how it goes.
A lot smoother than mine.
It's a lot smoother than the 4C, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot.
On this road, I think yours is going to be a bit of a handful. It's not really your car's fault, it just doesn't work as well on this.
No, that's right, it will be bumping.
So that's what I find about this car, is the chassis is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's very good.
And as you'll see, it still handles, even though it is, very good over the bumps.
Yeah, it's amazingly supple.
It's like Lotus sort of magic chassis.
I don't think I've ever driven a Lotus before.
This is the first Lotus you've ever
driven? I think so. I mean, I might have driven the old early Elises and stuff like that.
What's your impression so far of the engine?
Yeah, it's smooth.
Yeah.
Very smooth.
Too smooth?
No, it's linear. It's nice. I don't think you can ever get too smooth because
you don't find it lacking in character or anything like that?
No.
I mean, you haven't revved it all the way through
yet,
exactly,
but
I think it's got a nice edge to it as it sort of goes up the rev range. But in normal driving like this, or even when you're doing like 6/10,
yeah,
I just find it too quiet. So it's only nice if you're thrashing the fuck off it and then you can hear it.
Well, I don't know. I think it's quite supple, quite nice like this.
Yeah,
it's not.
Like it.
It's not lacking in grunt, is it?
It's not grunt. It's noise that I find. It would need a bit more noise, ideally.
I think it's good.
Yeah, you like it so far?
Yeah, very good.
I think on these back roads, for a sports car, there's nothing quite as good. It's just very smooth, it's very fluid.
Yeah, it's not set up too stiff, is it? It's nice.
But it doesn't seem to me the chassis is still controlled, even though it's quite loose. You know, it doesn't feel like the chassis is lacking in control, if you know what I mean. It doesn't feel like you want it particularly. It's just the way they've set up, I think the springing and the damping just works.
Yeah, it's brilliant. You've got a lot of confidence in it as well, like the steering, it's good.
You get a lot of feel, don't you?
Yeah.
And it's judged, it's the right sort of speed, I think, as well, the steering.
Yeah.
So it is a lot more comfortable than the 4C, yeah, you reckon? Oh yeah? Well, we'll find out in a minute, I guess.
Oh yes.
See what I like about it?
Yeah,
it keeps pulling more and more as you go up, and like no turbo engine's going to do that.
No, obviously the supercharger on that does that, but
but it doesn't seem to affect the sharpness at all, the supercharger, if you know what I mean. It's still like
that's how it's linear.
Really
it's linear all the way through.
Pin sharp and
yes, good.
Yeah, no particular
I like the dash. No.
I mean, ergonomically, it's a bit of a disaster because you can't see those switches while you're driving. But you know, at least they're nice sort of aluminium switches, and you know,
it's fine. But it's a sports car. Mine's worse.
Is it in terms economically?
The column controls you can't see at all when you're driving because it's got a thick bit of the wheel.
Yeah.
Like the cruise control I turned on the other day for the first time.
Yeah.
But you just have to do it by feel. I'm trying to look at the dial.
Right.
And you can't see it. I think that's plenty loud enough, really, for me.
Sorry?
That's plenty loud enough for me.
Really?
I think it's a nice noise.
Yeah, no, I'd like it a little bit more, really. But
I'm impressed with this. I like it a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I like it a real lot.
That's really always really nice to hear because I think it's one of the best cars I've ever owned.
I think it's lovely.
It's just, and I think it surprises most people. They just don't expect them to be quite as good as they are.
I thought it was going to be a lot kind of cheaper feeling.
Yeah.
You know, like a Lotus, you know, not, I don't know, I think it's quite classy, it feels lovely.
Brilliant, it's really good to hear. We'll see how I get on with the 4C now.
Yeah.
This is so much louder already.
Yeah? It's probably because the car's like thinner.
Well, I mean the exhaust, the exhaust and the intakes. That's really responsive, that engine.
Yeah. Okay, my way.
All good?
Yeah.
Okay, so on the cat's eyes, it's definitely much more. It's a lot bumpier, isn't it? Yeah, it's a lot harder to drive smoother, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although it's not as bad on the bumps as I was preparing for. It's okay. It doesn't throw you off course quite, although it does wander around. The brakes are much sharper as well. They feel much heavier assisted than on the Evora. Did you get that or not?
Yes.
They're a bit less. I mean, it's only, again, like you said about the steering on mine, I think it's just something you get used to, I'm sure, but they're very strong and there's less travel than mine, and they feel like they're quite on and off. I mean, you can feel the lightness of this just in the way it responds. It's really immediate. I keep on going down to change gear. But as a flappy paddle, this really isn't bad at all. And one of the things which is really stupid that makes a huge difference, I think, is that there's no travel, and that's really good. Yeah. I hate the ones where it makes them feel slower than they actually are. Yeah. Whereas this, because it's nicely sort of engineered, so there's just a tiny little bit of movement there, and it feels good. It feels quite immediate. I mean, I love the way the steering feels on the Evora, and the Evora is better when you're cruising and when you're driving normally. But mid-corner, this has even more feel coming through.
Yeah,
so I can see what you're talking about. The thing is that the weight on the Evora wheel doesn't change very much. Whereas this, when you're in the corner, it loads up, not badly, so it doesn't get in the way, but you can it just loads up and it gives you a little bit of extra confidence.
Because it's got no power steering, that's why, so you're feeling whatever's coming back from the road.
Speed-wise, how does it feel to you that this is, how does it compare to the Evora?
I don't know, because the Evora I think masks its speed, because it's
a bit more,
this, you feel it.
Yeah.
I don't know. These are.
I feel this is probably a little bit quicker, but I don't think it's not night and day. I think this would pip the Evora, especially up to maybe 100 miles an hour or something.
Yeah.
But it isn't. It isn't. Yeah, it isn't night and day. It isn't a massive difference. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, this little Alfa. I don't know why the British press have given it such a hard time. I think for a focused car, it is good. The steering is busy, and this one, as you mentioned, has had the mod done, so it's better than some. But this is probably the worst road in terms of testing the steering, and it's still perfectly drivable. It's not ideal, but it is a lot of fun. It's quick. It feels very, very focused. Probably the only thing that I'm struggling a little bit with is just the brakes. I'm finding it a little bit hard to adapt. I mean, this has been a tiny, short little drive, but aside from that, I really like it. Right. Hey everyone, just wanted to get another conclusion to this video. You'll see from bits and bobs, I was doing some drone filming, and Jason was driving the cars, and I flew the drone backwards so the sensors didn't pick it up into a tree really high up, about 40 foot up. And we've spent literally the last, I think, 3-4 hours trying to get it down. First of all with sticks, whatever, none of it's worked. Found a fishing shop round not too far from here, about 20 minutes. So we went there, got fishing line and weights, and we're chucking that up, and finally we've got the bloody thing back. And I had to do this little clip just to say, firstly, massive thank you to Jason Chalky. He's a legend because he stuck around for the 3-4 hours and helped me. And secondly, that you don't realise how relieved I am. I've only just bought this Mavic, and there was a good chance it was going to end up in the tree. So all in all, it saved the day. It's been really good fun with the cars. What I will say is pretty obvious. The 4C is much more single-minded, much more focused. The Evora is a much more all-round car. It's really what they were, designed to do. Could I live with a 4C day to day? I think so. I'm not 100% sure. It depends. I do a lot of driving to go to and from videos, and that is so much more comfortable. But I need a 12th car, and I do love these. So it's all still up in the air, but I did like the 4C, and I think they're cool, great little cars. So it's a definite possibility. Thank you all so much for watching. Cheers, Jason, and see you all soon.
Thank you.